Here's something that trips people up. Your dog can be friendly with almost everyone. The mail carrier, your neighbor, that one uncle who always sneaks them table scraps, and still treat you completely differently. Not louder, not more excited, different. And most owners never stop to ask why, because it just feels normal. Today, we're breaking down the actual behavior behind that difference. 5 specific things dogs reserve for one person, and what's really going on in their head when they do it. Most dog owners explain this with vague words like loyalty or love. Those words aren't wrong exactly, they're just too fuzzy to be useful. When you actually watch dog behavior closely, the picture is more specific than "my dog loves me." It's closer to a dog running a constant, quiet risk assessment of the world and treating one person as the answer key. By the end of this, you'll know exactly what to look for in your own dog, and you'll probably realize you've been seeing these signs for years without ever naming them. Let's start with the one almost every owner has seen, but nobody talks about. Picture a backyard barbecue. Your dog is working the crowd, sniffing hands, accepting pets, maybe lying down near the food table. Totally social, totally relaxed. But watch closely, and you'll catch something small. Every couple of minutes, their head turns, their eyes sweep the yard, and they find you. Not a long stare, just a beat, then back to whatever they were doing. That flick of the eyes has a name in animal behavior: social referencing, using another individual's presence and reaction as a gauge for how to feel about a situation. It's the same thing you'll see in a toddler at a playground, glancing back at a parent before deciding whether a loud noise is scary or fine. Dogs do their own version of this too, checking in with familiar people, especially when a situation feels a little unfamiliar. The point isn't that your dog needs permission to enjoy the party. It's that your presence is functioning like a background setting on their nervous system, a dial that's currently turned to calm because you're still in view. Anyone who's ever come home to a dog knows the tail wag, but there's a version of that greeting on a completely different scale. The kind where the wag pulls the whole back half of their body sideways, the ears go back, and some dogs genuinely can't hold still long enough to stay in one spot. Here's a useful way to think about it. Excitement and relief actually look almost identical in the body, but they come from different places. A dog greeting a friendly stranger is running on excitement, novelty, curiosity, maybe hope for a treat. A dog greeting their person after being gone is doing something closer to what happens when you've been holding your breath and you finally let it out. The tension that built up in your absence has somewhere to go, and it comes out as movement. That's also why the greeting scales with how much they needed you in that moment. A 5-minute trip to the mailbox gets a smaller reaction than a full day at work, even though gone is technically gone either way. Their nervous system isn't measuring time like a clock, it's measuring how long the anchor was missing. This next one is quieter, and that's exactly why it gets missed. Any dog will take a treat from a stranger. Plenty of dogs will roll over for a belly rub from someone they just met. But full, deep sleep next to someone, the kind where their whole body goes loose, their breathing slows, and they don't even twitch when you shift position, that's a shorter list of people. Think about it from a survival standpoint. Every dog, no matter how many generations removed from the wild, still carries an old instinct. Exposing your belly, turning your back, fully powering down is only safe if you trust whoever's nearby. It's a small bet with real stakes, and dogs don't place that bet with just anyone. So when your dog flops against your leg mid-nap or turns their back to you and lets out a sigh, that's not laziness, that's not just comfort. That's your dog's body making a decision their bark never could. I don't need to be alert right now because you've got this covered. Ever notice your dog getting up off the couch a full second before you even say the word walk? Or lifting their head the moment you shift your weight to stand, while completely ignoring someone else doing the exact same thing across the room? That's not a coincidence, and it's not mind reading either. It's pattern recognition, and dogs are remarkably good at it. Over months and years, your specific habits, the way you reach for your shoes, the sound of your particular footsteps, the little pause you take before opening the fridge, all get filed away as reliable predictors of what happens next. Dogs are wired to notice these tiny sequences because being able to predict your next move is genuinely useful to them.
But here's the part that makes this about you specifically, and not just dogs in general. They don't build this detailed map for everyone in the house. They build it for whoever's patterns most reliably explain their day. If that's you, congratulations. You've unknowingly become the most studied person in your dog's life. Save this last one for last because it might be the clearest signal of all. Something unexpected happens. A delivery truck backfires outside. A stranger knocks. A weird new object shows up in the living room. Watch your dog's eyes. Most dogs will look at the strange thing first. That's just instinct kicking in. But a dog with a strong bond to a particular person will often do something extra. They'll glance away from the strange thing and check your face before deciding how to react. They're not checking if you noticed, they're gathering data. If your body stays loose and your voice stays normal, that gets logged as not a threat, and their own alarm tends to drop faster. This isn't a one-time trick. It's the accumulated result of every single time you stayed calm during something scary and your dog came out the other side fine. Each of those moments adds a little more weight to the idea that your judgment can be trusted, and that idea compounds over time into something close to instinct. So, if you zoom out on all 5 of these, the check-in glances, the oversized greeting, the deep unguarded sleep, the eerily accurate predictions, the look for reassurance, a pattern starts to emerge. None of them are about who's the most fun, who gives the biggest portions at dinner, who has the softest voice. Those things help, sure, but they're not the foundation. The actual foundation is consistency. Thousands of small, unremarkable moments where you showed up the same predictable way, the same tone, the same reactions, the same presence, until your dog's nervous system quietly filed you under safe and stopped double-checking. That's not something you can fake or shortcut. It's built the slow way, rep by rep, whether you were paying attention to it or not. So the next time your dog checks the room for you, or falls asleep against your leg with that long exhale, or reads your body before you've even said a word, don't file it away as just a dog thing. That behavior is specific, it's earned, and out of every person your dog has ever met, that reaction is reserved for you. If you noticed your own dog doing one of these 5 things while watching this, drop it in the comments. I'd genuinely like to hear which one hit closest to home. And if this changed the way you look at your dog tonight, that's exactly what this channel is here for, so consider subscribing for more of this. See you in the next one.